Well,
And
this is a recreation. The Alaunt was never a breed; it was a type.
right.
Mainly three types: the Gentile, the Venturi, and the Boucherie. Boucherie being the butcher's dog. The first two were basically Mastiff types. The Gentile, like I said before, the body of a greyhound, head of a Mastiff. That's how
Mm-hmm.
it started. Nobody quite knows what happened or where they went wrong. They were brought over by the Lanis and the Alans. They were expected to protect. In them days, protect meant kill, really, I suppose. Nobody really knows for sure. Nobody really knows what history is, you know.
Right.
But on the whole, they were a protective hunting type dog. You didn't have a dog for fashion in them days. You had a dog, you know, if you was going to feed a dog, it had to help you in some point or other. But the Gentile was the dog you protect and provide, i.e., deer and boar.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Boucherie was more protection, as was the Venturi. You know, the Boucherie was known here as the butcher's dog, which is the original bulldogs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But the bull breeds did originally come from the Alant tribes. They brought the Alant tribesmen who brought the Alaunts with them, and the Alaunts were used on Adrian's Wall to protect, to stop just to protect us. Do you know what I mean? And from then, all the bull breeds, and the bulldogs in this country came. And people say, that the bulldog came from Great Britain, but me personally, I think it came from the tribes of the Alans. I mean, if the Romans brought them over to guard the walls and what have you, and help with the raids through Europe, and then they've left some of the dogs here, how can we say we created the bulldog?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So the Alans guarded Adrian's Wall, and they brought the dogs with them, and from those dogs came English Mastiffs and Bulldogs. No, at the moment, it's too much of a type rather than a breed. I'm not too sure if people want them to be registered, although people said that about the Jack Russell. Now you have the Parson Russell registered worldwide, don't you?
Yeah.
But the problem is there's too many of us involved. Too many of us disagree, including myself in that, disagree on what way they should go. The problem is there's meant to be three types, but not enough gene pool. So who knows? Like I said, I'm only interested in what I interpret as the Gentile type, which is the hunting type. Others do what they want to do. So I don't think it would ever get recognised by any kennel club. Like I say, it's a type at the moment. Once they're breeding true, although they are a lot of them breeding true, it could be classed as a breed. There's still too much ambiguity as to what's required for it ever to be recognised. Recently, Mark Montague asked me what I rated of Catahoulas. Mark Montague is a leading source of Catahoulas in this country. And he will tell you as well. I said, I can't say. How can I say? I've only ever seen two Catahoulas in the flesh, and I've not seen them work. But in this day and age, once again through Facebook, there's too many people got an opinion of something they know nothing about. So I don't know. However, what I will say about Alaunt is, I've been around hunting dogs all my life, is the males are very, very slow to grow up and mature. The bitches are very, very quick. They're not the ones I've been involved with. I'm not saying they're all like that, yeah. Ones I've been involved with, they need a hell of a lot of mental stimulation and physical stimulation. I wouldn't call them a fantastic house pet unless you got an active walker or something. Somebody that wants a dog and throw it out in the garden and go for a crap in the garden, that's not the dog for them. For us, work-wise, you've got to give them time to grow. There's too many people, because they look impressive when they're fit. You've seen photos. I know you've seen pictures of lots of them, Sean, not just mine, others. Yeah, when they're fit, they look impressive, but a lot of the people are getting them fit too early. They have to remember there's a lot of mastiff blood in there. Let them grow, let the joints mature, let the lungs mature. Like I say, the males are very slow in starting, but I find them the better hunters when they get there. They take a couple of years where you'll be hunting full on with a bitch at a year old. It'll probably take you 2 years for a male to be half decent. But they've got a fantastic brain. They've got fantastic stamina. They're fit. They've got fantastic recovery, and recovery is the biggest thing. If they've just run a mile and a half and missed it, and they come back, You need them to be recovering quickly so they can go again if you see something else. Also, with mine, I don't know with others, I can only speak of mine. Mine heal very quickly. One day they'll look like they're smashed to bits if they've been in a tussle with something with teeth, and a fortnight later you would never know they've been near anything. And in this day and age, no matter where you are in the world, a dog that recovers quickly, it doesn't look like it's been involved in a brawl, is a blessing.